Okay. Good morning. Hi, guys. Kayla here from KR Country Coaching. I just thought that I would come on and just say hello and just let you guys know what we have happening today and then Monday. So today we have the beautiful Sib Austin, who is a Western Downs local and will be joining us this morning. So Sib, you might have heard of her, has formed Laughter Yoga with Sib, which she does on quite a few of the Western Downs towns. So I'm pretty sure she does Miles, Tara, Chinchilla, I think are her main three for the moment, and definitely rooting for her and hope that goes, because I think that it's just an amazingly good service. Anyway, Sib will be joining us today speaking on all things mental health. So that's going to be really, really exciting, and it's going to be really good to delve into mental health. Obviously, it's not, and it never is, my intention to I know that there's a lot of work that needs to be done within the mental health realms. And that's definitely going to be a topic of today, I think, including, from a professional standpoint, including Sib's own personal experience with mental health. So those two things combined, I think is going to be for a really, powerful and engaging discussion. So if you can join us, please do. It's going to be at 10 a.m. And obviously all of this sort of stuff is recorded live so that you can watch it later, in your own time and at your own leisure, which is fantastic. I also wanted to ask for your help. So guys, if you know about this page and you come onto this page and you watch things, please feel free to share it, to let other people know that this trauma network exists, and to just really start to, build a bit more momentum. I have, and thank you so much to everyone who comes on and watches. It's really great for me to see, I usually check up on a show about a week later to see how many people have actually tuned in and for how long. And the reason why I do this is not so much due to popularity. I mean, I think for the ego side of ourselves, it's always nice if we feel like, we're having an effect. Okay, yep, cool. But also it kind of gives me some sort of work to go by, or some sort of summary of what may be working and what perhaps is not working. Okay, so for example, if I see that there is a percentage of people that come onto the show and maybe they only watch for a specific amount of time, then that gives me some sort of inclination as to, okay, so at this time, what were we talking about? Or perhaps, there was something where, like I might have gone off track, which I tend to do sometimes. And that is due to nerves, actually. When I'm nervous, I tend to talk a lot. And, I've been doing this for a little while, but you still get nervous because you care about, how you're coming across, and, is the message that you're sending going to reach people? So, please definitely do share it to people and let people know that it does exist, because you never know who you might be helping through that too. And it's really great to be starting to get some momentum now and start to see things kind of coming together. And a passion of mine is to really just teach and allow, not so much teach, I think it's more so give allowance to people to know that they are not alone. So it's very exciting. And then on Monday at 10 a.m. we've got Mercedes Wise, who's also a local, and she is based in Miles, and she is going to be coming on and sharing her story and her vulnerability, and just so much courage here on the topic of suicide. And, it's statistically proven that at least once in our lifetime, we will go through a stage of mental discontent, where the feeling of not living comes into our minds. So that might be, and I believe that in that reference, from the Psychological Association, I believe that reference was not made in kind of discourse to planning to do something to end your life. I think it was more kind of giving this kind of summary to humankind and the fact that there are times where we question our life. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in the fact of actually planning to do something or, um, having the thought in our minds of, okay, I'm going to end it. I think that is something that can be very common. I myself have experienced that. I know many other people that I have conversations with have experienced that too. I think it was also in giving reference to, like kind of sitting there and going, having those moments where we go, oh my God, I wish, I wasn't alive right now, or, I wish I was dead right now. So, yeah. Another thing that I just wanted to mention was on my last show with Nicole. Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us as well. That was such an insightful conversation, I think, on grief and loss. I do apologize to you guys, the audience, that I did have to kind of cut it short in the end and just be like, I gotta go. My little one was quite upset by that stage. My partner is home at the moment, so that's definitely a plus because I kind of have someone to lean on to watch little Ellie. Of course, we will just, approach things as they come along with whatever may happen. But the other thing that I wanted to mention was please know that viewer discretion is advised. So I'm going to be working on kind of like an introduction video for the Trauma Network. The other videos, I always tend to mention, viewer discretion, and if at any time you are triggered, then, please make sure that you reach out for help, or you stop watching, or you have some supports around you. Some of the topics on the show can be, I'm trying to think of the word, can be really sensitive. We have a topic actually that's going to be coming up in the next week from Caitlin, and that goes into childhood abuse. And so I know that can be quite full on for some people, especially if you're still, dealing with healing from these things. One of the rules I have about coming onto the Trauma Network is that people must have reached a stage of healing and or, like kind of overcoming. It doesn't mean that they're still not working through stuff every day. But that is one rule that I do have, is that, you can't kind of still be stuck in that scenario, or feel like you haven't sort of made it over the worst of it, per se. My own personal experience from studies that I've undertaken, research that I've undertaken, I don't believe that there is such a thing as closure, simply because, as well, of what, the term says, you're closing it. I think when it comes to trauma, there are definite, parts of the story that help define us, make us. And I think so long as we're using those things to better ourselves, then, we're kind of growing and evolving from that. But I don't really think that there's such a thing as trauma. I mean, sorry, there's such a thing as closure. I definitely believe that there's such a thing as trauma. And if you disagree with that, or, if you have a professional opinion, I would love to hear from you and discuss that more. I'm always open to discussions. So yes, I'll definitely try to remember to do the my own little disclaimer until I'm actually able to do to produce. All of these things take time, and I produce all of my own content. I do my own website, all that sort of stuff. And of course, if you're someone who's able to rely on other people, that's absolutely amazing. I think that's also part of myself that's a bit of a control freak. So yeah, still definitely working on those sorts of things. I had taken a bit of a back step from social media past couple, probably the past week or so. That was for different reasons. I had a lot going on around here. and my partner had a bit of an incident and ended up in hospital, etc. So it's been really, really full on. But and I also think that taking breaks from social media are necessary. So I tend to really do that on my personal page, where I take, really I just kind of like take myself away just to regroup. I'm also someone who's constantly working, like I can be very emotionally reactive. And so that's been a huge part of learning, I think, and evolving, and meditation and breath work has played a huge part in that for me. But it's still something that, I'm working on all the time. Is just kind of knowing that, stuff happens and you can't control things, or, especially when you are someone who is very involved in social media and things like that, you tend to see a lot of things um, that you may not always necessarily agree with, or that, you're like, oh man, this is just so wrong. And there has always been an essence of person in me that's always wanted to kind of, like put my two bobs in and be like, hey, you're wrong or whatever. And then you slowly kind of start to learn that everything happens in its time and for a reason. And people's levels of experience differ according to, people's levels of opinion, knowledge, all those sorts of things. All of us differ according to levels of experience. And once you really start to understand that, I think that you can approach things in different ways, but it definitely doesn't mean that it's easy. So for me, it's still very much an ongoing thing, and then I still have my stuff that, I'm working on. And so if you head to the KR Country Coaching page, I tend to talk a bit about that too. So yes, anyway, you see, I'm starting to babble on. So yeah, we have some really exciting things happening. Next week, it's Mateo and Caitlin. Every participant that comes onto this show, I really honor. And I really think that everyone brings a uniqueness. Pardon me, a unique message, a uniqueness, something that is shared that is just so different. And yet so much of the time there are these common themes that really come out. So I really love doing this work with these other two beautiful individuals that will be coming on. I'm not going to share it in case, it might not come out or etc. But they have been having their own major personal hurdles. And the fact that they're still making time to come on here is just absolutely amazing. So I know that for Caitlin, we had said it was a TBA, to be advised. And Mateo's just got back to me as well. So these two, for what they have going on and the fact that, they're still coming on, I just wanted to say thank you so much. And, it's just amazing. Anyway, guys, so we will see you at 10 a.m. If you are going to be coming along, don't forget to share and let people know that this little place over here exists, where we speak to other people and we hear really inspiring stories. If you have an inspiring story, feel free to reach out to me. And let me know, and we can definitely discuss it from there. So I will see you at 10 a.m. with Sib Austin to discuss the topic on all things mental health. Take care.